far in expressing his personal views. His editors have discussed the issue with him to reiterate that his job is to report the facts and not offer his own opinions. We are confident that his reporting for the Times has been scrupulously fair and accurate. Melissa.
Interesting. Howard Kurtz, thank you so much. David, I'm going to come to you first. I think this is fascinating as I'm not sure everyone's used to, if you express your opinion, you need to have a fact right behind it that very much backs up that opinion, or folks are going to come after you. Well, and I think we're used to that at Fox. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was
what are your
just going to say,
thoughts? So he would have to say, what's a third grade science? Yeah, go ahead.
Right. Well, you can go by either the science analysis that this guy was doing, if you want to call it that, or just look at what they've been doing in other instances. I mean, for months and really years, the media was quoting people in terms of the Russian collusion story that were saying something completely different from what they were telling investigators under oath about whether there was Russian collusion with the Trump campaign. I mean, do media outlets care at all about whether their prime sources are telling them the truth or not? I don't think they do anymore. It's a sad commentary on journalism, but I really don't. I'm glad they corrected themselves, or at least tried to correct this reporter. But there's so many instances of where it's happened. It's just you throw up your hands and say, when is it going to change?
Yeah, Lara, is this a standout in your mind? I think David's point is this isn't that unusual.
Well, David is right. And you have to look at this in the context of what the New York Times and most of the media has been doing for years now. This is a moment for all of us reporters to stand up for journalism and stand up for our profession, and just admit that on every single page of the New York Times, opinion is infused with fact. And that is happening all across the media, and has been happening in a very serious way with very serious consequences for a long time. Just look at what happened with the Attorney General William Barr's comments that were cut in half on the Sunday talk show, right? When Chuck Todd went after him for not saying exactly what he did say. These are not accidents. I mean, come on here, people. Like, give me a break, right? At this point in where we are, take a look at the facts here. How come the New York Times never makes a mistake that supports the Trump administration? How come no other paper does that as well? And how come nobody cares about the fact that you got a Pulitzer Prize for a story that was 100% false, and then you went back to the same sources and you gave them a platform and let them justify and defend their actions? That reporters don't know what the law says. They report on laws and they don't even know what they say. I mean, one important point to make here. Grinnell, as DNI, he's not unmasking anybody. He doesn't have to follow those rules. He has to follow the law of declassification. He's declassifying the names of people who did this. Why? Because Samantha Power said under oath in her testimony that hundreds of people who were unmasked under her name, that she had nothing to do with that she didn't know who did. Well, something's wrong here. There's something wrong that actually occurred. And the people who unmasked Michael Flynn violated his Fourth Amendment rights. This is about the right to privacy and the Constitution of the United States. That's why you can't put the identity of U.S. citizens, because we don't have the legal right to surveil our own citizens the way we do foreign diplomats. And when somebody leaked that information to the press, they committed a crime. They leaked classified information, and that's a felony. And that's what we have to be looking at. What journalists are doing is they're allowing people to spin them, and they're allowing them to obfuscate the truth, and they're focusing on other things. And the Times puts their opinion in the paper every single day. This apology is a joke.
All right, on that note, residents